Right fellas, welcome back. Welcome back to a long overdue update on the van. So it's been about 5 or 6 weeks since I put a video up on the van, and I thought I might as well get a video up because a couple of people have messaged me out of curiosity asking me if the van's finished, as I've not put anything up on it for kind of 5 or 6 weeks. So this video is basically just going to be talking a lot of nonsense. I'm not actually going to be doing anything, so if you don't want to listen to me talk nonsense, feel free to disappear. There's nothing majorly interesting going on. So right, so in the past 5 weeks it's been back to mechanics. It has had the suspension sorted out, so I've had the van lowered by I think about 1 inch on the back. I've had the tracking done at the front, and the front subframe and all the running gear has been checked to make sure that it's roadworthy before the van goes to the adaptations place to have the clutch set up. So the van was meant to be going back to the adaptations place the week after it come back from mechanics, but with the news of Stamford Hall being cancelled, I thought, sack it, I'll just wait a little bit longer, and it just gives me a little bit more time to make sure that everything's done before, obviously, the guys set it up with a clutch and stuff. There's a couple of things I need to do still, so I'm going to give you a walk around and show you what I need to do. But the main reason I pulled the plug on and sending it back to the adaptations place is because the where I drilled a hole in the inner wing for the clutch cable to come through, I need to put a grommet in the wing, and I can't quite get it in at the moment, so I've got myself a little Dremel. So I'm going to slowly Dremel that hole bigger, so I can get this grub in, this kind of rubber washer which I bought, which that'll finish that off really nicely. So that's another little job I need to do. So right, I'm going to grab it off the tripod and I'm going to show you what I've been up to and show you what needs doing on the van, because like I say, we're really close now. Also, the sign writing is also booked in for the 16th of September. I won't be here on the 16th of September because it is a Wednesday, and I think I'm in London or something like that with work, so unfortunately I can't be there or be here to watch him do it, but I have put a video up on my channel when he initially did it the first time, so if anyone wants to watch it, I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. So right, I'm going to grab it off the tripod and show you what I've been up to. Okay, so as I mentioned, suspension, so as you can see the ride height is all been set nice. I really like the way it's sitting now. So originally the van was sitting about 1 inch higher at the back. I can't remember what it was at the front. I'll have to look back on some photos, but I know the front now is lower than what it used to be. I'm not sure whether the van used to sit level or it was slightly kind of like this, but I asked Paul at Mechanics to just level the van through for me, and it looks really cool. In terms of stuff I need to do to the outside of the van, I just need to fit the hubcaps. That's something I stayed away from because in case I had to take the wheels on and off for doing any suspension and work, because those things are an absolute nightmare to remove. I really need to think of an easier way to get those steel caps off. I've actually just bought as well 4 new stainless steel caps from P&L Minis. They only had 3 in stock at the time, and me 4th one is literally just come in the post. So yeah, I can get those put on, but that's going to be one of the last jobs I do. So I'll probably do the hubcaps the same time as like the sign writing, and I can stick my front registration plate on and just finish all the outside of it off, and then get the van out, give it a massive clean, and then get a coat of wax on it, and maybe get it off to the detailers as well this year or next year, to have a full paint correction and a ceramic coating. So right, moving on to the inside. This is where I've kind of been most busy, if you like. So what I've been up to is, first of all, I've fitted my compact heater from Mini Spares. So that's all situated in there. It's all plumbed in, all working, which is fantastic. You'll notice this abundance of wires here. So all these have now been soldered back together and heat shrunk, so they're not going to go anywhere. And I've just got a couple of odds and ends that need reconnecting, but I'm going to leave that to the adaptations place to do. So we've got the brake pedal sensor, which needs connecting back up, and also we've got the ignition live, that needs connecting back up. There's already a fuse in there, I think. I can't remember what hang on. Oh, well, it's stuck in there. Well, it's a white one. What's that? hang on, 25. I'm trying to look through the camera at it, but yeah, 25 amp. So the adaptation's placed put that in, so I've got no idea of how that goes. So yeah, all that's soldered up. There's just those 2 connections that need doing there. Underneath the passenger seat, this is where I've decided to place my ECU. Again, this hasn't been fixed to the cross member just yet, because I just want to make sure that everything's working first before I start fixing things in place. Once all this is up and running, I am going to wrap this entire loom in tester tape. So the only bit of the loom you're going to see, well, when you lift the seat up, is this section here. Once it gets to that point there, it's going to go underneath the front carpet. So, but I'm going to wrap the full loom anyway in tester tape. So like I say, when that seat's down, you're not going to be able to see anything from kind of this angle. You may or may not be able to see something if you come in there like that. But yeah, when someone gets in the van, you're not going to be able to see anything. And the reason I've ran the cables along the tunnel there is if I ever have passengers in the van as well and they get in, they're not going to be standing on all those wires. So once all this is set up, there's going to be absolutely no wires in the footwell. So obviously there's not going to be any risk of damaging any wires and stuff, because they'll all be tucked out of the way, wrapped in tester tape, and I'm probably going to kind of somehow tape them in place as well, so they stay in the right place. I've also got a little bit of dash trim to do that needs doing, and that is pretty much it. Oh, I've also fitted my seat belts as well, so all those have been fitted. I just need to fit the buckles, and then that, in terms of the interior, is pretty much done. I've also fitted new handles there from DSN. Really like these, and they work absolutely fantastic. So before I decided to restore the van, I had trouble getting out of the driver's side because I think the thing at the back had just worn out through using these. So the only problem with these is when you've got them kind of clipped on, you can see there, when you pull down on that, they're just nowhere near as efficient as that. This van, being a 1972, I'd have had the handles there anyway. It wouldn't have had them, and to be honest with you, I quite like that because I think it looks neater than that going over the door there. But yeah, let us know what you think. Do you prefer them, or do you prefer the handles going down? I think they're really cool, and as well from a functional point, these are so much better. Also, I've fitted my pocket liners as well. So with the van interior, I'm just having pocket liners. I'm having no door cards because when I had the van resprayed, I got Minivan to spray these inner door sections, because I think it'll look quite nice with brown seats, black carpets, and so it's not going to be too much brown. Whereas I think if I had brown door cards as well, I think there'd just be way too much going on in there. So yeah, and also the check straps. I don't know if I said in my last video, when I fitted those, I had the check straps made a little bit longer so the door opens wider. So you'll notice this door opens 90 degrees with the sill, whereas on a standard car they kind of open like that. I had that done solely just to aid me getting the chair in a little bit easier. That was just kind of a little clever modification I thought I could do. And again, if I wanted to shorten them back to a standard size, I could just trim those down, set the holes back ½ an inch, and yeah, it'd be completely standard again. So that is that in terms of interior. Moving round to the front of the car, I've not really been doing an awful lot here, but the main sort of job I've been doing was I had a leak from the temperature sensor. So when I put it in, I just put it in dry. I've got a thing for putting things in dry. No, behave, Alex. So yeah, so I took that out, wrapped it in tester tape, and then filled up the coolant again, because obviously I lost the coolant that was in the cylinder head. This here, where the clutch cable comes through, I've got a washer in place there, but I want to put a different one in which has got a bit of a wider flange on it. So to cover that up, so I need to just drag this clutch cable back through, Dremel it out, put my new grub in, and then that should be good to go. Also, what I did as well, I don't know if you noticed, I used a little bit of electrical tape. So I used 2 layers and then a 3rd layer over the top. That's basically just to stop this scratching the closing panel. It's just because I'm a pervert and don't like my paint getting chipped. What else have I been doing in here? Oh, also, I've got myself a new coil. Also, shout out for Minivan for not responding to my email or giving an absolute toss about selling a dodgy coil. So if anyone from Minivan's watching, I will not be using your services again. So yeah, got myself a new coil. I got that from Moss in Stockport, which is local to me. I just need to also remove this oil pipe feed, because when Paul and I was starting the engine up, I say Paul and I, mainly Paul, because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing, we're setting the timing. The oil pressure pipe was actually catching and getting in the way, so I said to Paul, right, just get rid of it, because to be perfectly honest with you, with that in like that, it just looked absolutely crap. So yeah, I'm going to do away with that, and I'm going to replace the centre binnacle with either an RPM one or a clock. I'm not 100% sure, and that is pretty much it on the engine bay. I've just got to fix that air filter housing in place. I'm having a couple of problems actually with the fixing that goes along the back. For some reason, it's just not connecting up or threading. So I'm gonna have a chat with DSN, because I think the what's it called, the fixing for the back isn't long enough. When you take the air filter off, you pop it on, it goes straight on, but yeah, when you've got the air filter in place, for some reason it's not fixing in place, which is a shame. But yeah, I'll speak to DSN on that. I've got to fix my front number plate on. I've actually got it thrown in the back of the van. In fact, I'll show you in the back of the van, 2 secs. Okay, so as you can see, it's just being used as a storage compartment. So what I've got in the back is I've got my front plate. That's some classic plates online. I've not even opened it yet. Also, I've got a new fuel pump to carb pipe as well, because I don't know if I mentioned, the actual fuel hose is dangerously close to the manifold. I mean, I really don't like how close it is, so I decided that I'm going to change it to a metal pipe, in the hope that the heat of the engine won't distort the rubber or melt the rubber or anything like that. Oil, if you want to give it another service once it's been on the road a couple of weeks or months, what have you. Spare rose petal, that's off my Cooper S. I've also bought wheels for the Cooper S, so yeah, that one's just sat in there. What else have I got? My carpets are there as well. Also, I've bought some new mats. I mean, I've had these months now. They've just been sat in the back of the van. So I got these from Classic Minis in Japan. So I also ordered the bulkhead blanking plate, which fitted to the bulkhead. When was it? Ooh, I think it was when Steve was there doing the wiring the first time. So yeah, I got these off the same guy. These things are not cheap, and if anyone's thinking about importing any, or getting anything sent over to the UK from Japan, there is import tax on absolutely everything. And I think on there was about 40 or 50 quid import tax, which took them mats up to like 230 quid for 2 rubber mats. And you're probably thinking, Tunic, you need your head testing. I actually do, because yeah, that import tax absolutely kills it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for inside the van. What I'm probably going to do as well is get some plywood and just cap those off so you can't see those wires, because I know the original vans used to have a little piece of plywood there, and with me being a previous joiner, that shouldn't be a problem for me to whipple something up in place and get it scribed to the contour of the rear quarter as well. Right, okay fellas, so yeah, that is pretty much it in terms of the van, of bits that I need to do. So I'm going to get cracking on with them next week. Unfortunately I've not got time this week, because it's now Saturday evening, and tomorrow I'm at the National Mini Metro Mini Day at the British Motor Museum, so I'm going to be whizzing down there tomorrow. So unfortunately I'm not going to get any chance to do any work on the van this week. Also next week I am picking up my new wheels for the Cooper S as well, so I've searched high and low for these wheels, absolutely everywhere. I've spammed Facebook, I've looked on eBay, I've looked everywhere, and I've finally found a set. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for those. Someone's text me. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm still waiting on parts as well for the Cooper S and Newton commercials, and I've also got a few other bits that I need to sort out, like the CV boot as well, or the drive shaft boot has come off and it's splattered grease absolutely everywhere. So yeah, there's a couple of little bits and bobs on that what I need to do. So yeah, plenty to be getting on with. Also, I might do a video of the event tomorrow. Again, it depends on the weather. If it's absolutely sideways with rain, I'll probably just retreat to my van and stay indoors if I can. But, right, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have got any questions, as always, I welcome in the comment section, and I shall see you next time with either a video on the Cooper S, the van, who knows, we'll see. So catch you next time, guys.